Hey guys, welcome back. If you've seen any of my last videos, you know that they're super random and all over the place. This time I want to change it up a little bit and keep it a little bit more consistent so that you guys know what's coming next. If you haven't already seen the title above, it's about the 75 hard challenge. It's a challenge that was created by Frisella, and he talked about it on his podcast, MFCEO, that was aired early in 2019. Frisella said this is a 75-day tactical guide to winning the war against yourself. Meaning that if you follow his guidelines for the next 75 days, he says he guarantees that you'll become a better person physically, emotionally, and most importantly, mentally. This challenge is structured specifically to challenge and strengthen your mental health and to teach us discipline and how to say no. You have to follow the 6 rules for the 75 days consecutively. The first rule is to do 2 45-minute workouts. 1 must be outdoors. The reason why 1 must be outdoors is because sometimes the conditions outside aren't always the best. It can be snowing, it can be raining, it can be hailing, whatever the conditions are. We sometimes are like, yeah, I'm not gonna go outside. It's too hot, or it's snowing out. So we don't stick to our plans and then therefore we fail. This is to teach us mentally that the conditions can't always be perfect and won't always be perfect. So we have to strengthen our minds to make sure we get the job done. Rule 2 is the easiest, but don't underestimate it. And that's to take a progress picture every single day. Rule number 3 is to read 10 pages of a non-fictional book, which means it can't be Harry Potter or Twilight or whatever it is that's fantasy or fiction. It has to be a non-fictional book. It's gonna help you progress and achieve the goals that you are looking for. That it's gonna help you with your own personal goals and how to become a better person or whatever it is. Any type of self-motivational books. You can read books that are gonna teach you a new trade. Pretty much any personal growth books would work. Rule number 4 is to drink a gallon of water. Yes, a gallon of water. Rule 5 is to follow a diet. Now he says he doesn't care exactly what you do with your diet as long as you pick a diet and you stick to the diet. The only exception is that you can't have any cheat meals or alcohol. Okay, and the 6th rule is that if you break any of these rules, you must start all over from day 1. Meaning, if you're on day 74 and you forget to take your progress picture, that's it. You have to start all over. And I'm gonna be honest, my wife and I have tried this challenge twice and failed. When we first started, we made it 22 days. And the reason why we failed was because we forgot to take the progress picture. I swear to you, we forgot to take the progress picture. The easiest part, that's why I'm saying, do not underestimate the picture. Because we forgot to take the progress picture, and because of that, we failed and had to start all over. We took 1 day off and started the challenge back up again. The second time around, we actually made it 33 days. And again, my wife forgot to take her progress picture, so she failed. But I was having a different problem myself. I felt like I was cheating a little bit on my diet and having a little bit more calories than I should have. So because of that, I felt like I wasn't being true to the challenge. And I felt that if I continued and finished the challenge, I would feel like I didn't do it right. I would have felt like I cheated. I would have felt like I didn't give it my all. And because of that, I stopped. Now, Frisella does talk about this a little bit on his podcast. Well, actually, it's throughout the whole thing if you listen to it. He says if you modify his plan at all and you cheat and you don't do everything the way you're supposed to do it, you won't achieve anything at the end. So that's how I felt, and that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that whole time. Those last 3 days, I was thinking, oh, man, maybe I should stop because I'm not really doing it right. And if I continue now, it's going to be harder for me to say anything and just be easy for me to finish it, but not be true to myself. And I did not want to do that because I know I can do it 100% and I can get the results that I'm looking for. Although this challenge is physically challenging, don't think that you're trying out to be the next US Olympic star. Yes, it's 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes long, but he does say they can be walks. You can just go outside and walk. And we did this. We actually went to the gym early in the morning, and late at night we would walk our dogs for 45 minutes. We have 3 dogs, so we have to walk them anyways, so it actually worked out perfectly. So it's not like we were super tired coming back from those 45 minutes. It was just mentally really difficult because just to get up and have to go walk them every single day when we were only used to doing it once every other day, it made a big difference. And to be honest, our dogs love it. So we actually stuck with that routine. And I actually invited some of my family members to do this challenge. Because of that, we won't be starting until January 4th. Some of them already had plans to do their things for New Year's, so I'm gonna wait for them. In the meantime, I don't want to lose my momentum and not do anything. And Frisella actually has something called power list. So what the power list is, 5 critical tasks that you want to do every day. It's not really part of the 75 hard, but I don't want to lose this momentum that I have right now. So I'm actually going to incorporate that into my daily routine, just to kind of start mentally preparing for the 75 hard. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to just be watching what I eat. I'm going to start making sure I drink water, because although it's just drinking water, I don't even do that. Sometimes I go, days without drinking any water. Another thing, I'm going to start reading. I am going to say, when we attempted the challenge the first 2 times, we actually bought some books on the iPad. I found out that that's the worst idea you can think of. So if you're anything like me and you plan on buying any books on your iPad or on any type of electronic device, I would seriously recommend you take another look at that, because some days I would go grab my iPad and I found it was dead. Then I kind of lost that motivation to read, so then I had to wait for it to charge. And then once it was finally charged, I would grab it and then start reading. But then it was such a hassle to start reading, because I lost the mindset of me sitting down and reading. I am a slow reader, so it would take me 20-25 minutes to read those 10 pages. Once I find out my iPad was dead, I was like, oh, now I have to wait. And then finally I would get to reading, and I was so out of it. He does want you to actively read. So he wants you to make sure you pay attention on what you're reading, that you take notes on what you're reading, so that you're not just reading words and trying to get 10 pages out of the day. So you really have to get involved with the book. And a lot of times I felt like I wasn't doing that because of the iPad. So my recommendation is definitely don't do any electronic books. Keep them hard copies. My wife and I actually went yesterday to Barnes & Noble, and we bought the books we were going to buy. I bought 3 books. I'll talk about those books once I start my weekly progress videos, and you can see what I'm reading. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. So like I mentioned, some of my family members are going to join me in doing this, including my wife, and we're going to do weekly update videos. Some of them have plans to start their own channels, so once they get that up and running, I'm going to put their link down in the description. That way you can take a look at them and follow them as well if you're interested. And I don't know about you, but for me, I've struggled a lot with weight loss. And it's been, I don't know, like 7 or 8 years that I've struggled with weight loss. I'm fortunate enough to be able to maintain it, although that's not the greatest thing still, because it doesn't make you feel any better. But I've always asked myself, what is it that I'm not doing right? Why is it that I can't achieve this goal? Or why is it that I just can't seem to either finish a program or complete any of my goals, especially with weight? And I'm always thinking, well, I'm getting older, or honestly, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with our mental health. Well, it has to do with my mental health, at least. I think I've came to a realization that, as I hate to admit it, I have a lot of mental problems. And no, I'm not crazy, but what I'm trying to say is that sometimes I have too many emotions and I just don't know how to express them or even talk about them. And that starts with our mental health. A lot of people don't like to talk about it. I don't like to talk about it. And even if I never get a single like or a subscriber based on this video, it doesn't matter, because to me, this is actually kind of therapeutic to be able to talk about it. It's like I'm talking to myself. When you listen to your voice on video, it's like the craziest thing. I sit there and I edit my videos and I can hear myself talking. And that's been very beneficial for me, at least, to be able to kind of reflect on what I was thinking and what I was talking about and the ideas that I had. It has a lot to do with our mental health. Especially this year, although I'm not gonna say it's the only year. 2020 has been hard for us, and I'm sure a lot of you. And to have to be quarantined and stayed at home, and we have 2 kids, and we have to deal with online schooling and trying to work at home, and it's just a big mess, right? And I know you guys know that. So right now is the perfect time to start talking about mental health. And I want to start with this. I am tired of telling myself I'm going to start tomorrow I'm gonna start next week. Oh, I'm gonna start on a Monday, because you have to start on a Monday or else you can't start a challenge. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of saying, oh, this year's my year. That's why I want to start doing my tasks and start kind of getting in the rhythm before the New Year's, because every time it gets this close to the New Year, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna go all out on New Year's. I'm gonna get wasted, but it's gonna be the last day. And I'm not sure if any of you have done that, but I know for a fact that I've done it the last 8 years of my life. That's facts. And what happens? I go all out on New Year's, and 2 months later, it's my birthday. And well, I mean, it's my birthday, it's just one day, so I'm gonna go ahead and party one more time, I swear. And here we go again, same problems, it never ends. So this time I want to do a little bit different, and I know we're super close to the New Year. And because of that, I'm gonna just ignore it and just continue and just keep my momentum going and start with my daily tasks that I want to achieve. And then leading up to the challenge on the 4th, we'll actually start the challenge. And on the 4th, I'm actually going to put a video out. I'll do a little vlog how my day is going, and then I'll post it that night. And it's going to talk a little bit about the book I'm going to read, a little bit about my workout plan. It's going to be super basic, and what I'm going to be doing, just so you guys get an idea if you're interested. What's my diet going to be like, what I'll be taking. I'm leading up to that every week up until the challenge is over. I'm going to be uploading a progress video, and in that video I really want to talk about what my mental state is at, how I'm feeling, how the challenge is affecting me, good or bad. It's also going to include some updates on my family members, the ones that won't have a channel, because I know it's kind of hard. I'm already asking a lot from them to record themselves, so I can incorporate that into my videos and we can put it together. Well, if you found any of this interesting, you want to follow us in our journey, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and turn on your notification bell so that you know every single time I upload a new video. Put a comment if you want to start a conversation. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments. It shouldn't be that hard for me. I have like 10 subscribers, so if one person out of 10 has a question, I'm pretty sure I can answer it in time. Thanks for watching. I hope I see you in the next video. Peace.